Thank you for listening to Blue Sky Horse Radio. I'm Yenny. This is at CKMS 102.7 FM Radio Waterloo. Today we're speaking with Dana and Brittany from Manitoba Animal Save, as well as Winnipeg Humane Society. And they are doing a horse slaughter awareness postering event. And I just want to welcome them to the show, as well as say thank you to Catherine Betts, Canadian Wild Horses, for helping set up the interview, as well as sponsoring Blue Sky Horse Radio. Wow. Okay. Well, would you, maybe Dana, you could please introduce yourself to our listeners, and then we can hear from Brittany as well.
Sure. I'm Dana Tong. I'm a co-organizer of Manitoba Animal Save. We're a chapter of the Global Save movement. We bear witness to animals who are on slaughter trucks, at slaughterhouses, at auctions. We go pretty much anywhere that animals are being harmed or exploited. I run Manitoba Animal Save with my co-organizer, Corey Fear, in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And we've also organized a protest regarding horse slaughter and live transport at our airport here, and also documented several horse shipments out of the Winnipeg airport.
Wow, yeah, I was just looking at some of the photos, and it's really difficult to see these photos. And obviously the live shipping has been happening for a while. It's a horrible, gruesome industry. So thank you for doing what you're doing. And Brittany, could you introduce yourself as well, please?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Brittany Semenik. I am an animal activist also based out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Professionally, I am the animal welfare consultant for the Winnipeg Humane Society, as well as a veterinary nurse. So I've spent a large part of my career focusing on animal welfare and activism towards Manitoba's animals, specifically revolving around farm animals and things like horses. I've gone to a large portion of Manitoba Animal Save's events to support the incredible work that they've been doing through the years.
Wow. And you guys are doing a horse slaughter awareness postering events right now. So could you guys tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So right now in Manitoba, we're in a code red situation. So all our in-person events are paused due to the restrictions. So we had to be a little bit more creative in what we can actually do here on the ground. One of our team members actually suggested we do a postering event so people could still be active individually, kind of on their own time. And we can still get the issue in front of people who may not otherwise be aware of it or who have social media. And so we organized this postering campaign. So it's about raising awareness of horse slaughter and live transport. Winnipeg Airport is one of the 3 airports that regularly ships the horses to Japan for their meat. The other 2 are Calgary and Edmonton. Mm-hmm. This happens right at our own airport, but a lot of Winnipeggers and Manitobans don't know that this is happening and are actually shocked to find out this is going on. So we're asking people to get involved and help us with the public education. We're putting up the posters from the group Canadians Against Live Export in public places like community billboards, on street poles, pretty much anywhere that people walking past can see it and kind of get some more information and get involved.
That's a great idea. So how long is this event on for?
Our event kicked off Sunday, December 20th, and it will run until this Sunday, January 3rd. So it's a 2-week event, but for sure it can extend past that. We just want to create a lot of momentum in these 2 weeks so that people are excited and really getting involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks great so far. So what is it all about then? What is it about? What made you actually do this?
Well, our group was contacted by the CHCC a few years ago to do some documentation at the airport regarding these live exports and the horse arrivals. So we got some footage for them, and then that's always been sort of an issue that we've been working towards. And when the Jan Arden's campaign kicked off, then it started getting a lot of momentum, and we wanted to do work on our end here because our airport is one of the other airports that ships. So we thought we need to get some work going around the airport here. So Brittany and us have organized a protest in November there. We got a ton of people out. We actually had to stagger the event so that because the restrictions, you couldn't have so many people at one time. So we had to hold it in 2 different time slots. People had to sign up for it, but we got a ton of people out for it. People are really interested in wanting to get involved. So there's quite a bit of momentum right now. So we really want to build on that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Yes. Yeah, go on.
I I was just going to add to that. I feel like this is one of those industries where it's gone a long time unnoticed by the, general public, but
Yeah.
just in more and more people are realizing that this industry exists. And I have yet to meet a person who finds out about the industry and isn't outraged by it. And as Dana mentioned, in 2017 alone, we exported roughly 4,800 horses overseas, and a third of those horses went through the Winnipeg airport. So it's an issue that's very dear to our hearts because it's happening in our own backyards, and the majority of Manitobans don't even realize that's happening right here in Manitoba. And when they find out about it, they want to get involved and they want to stop this very small but very lucrative industry.
Yes, exactly.
That's so true.
We were very fortunate and spoke with Jen Arden as well a couple of months ago, and we made a little video, and it's really awesome to have her on board for sure, because it just that amount of momentum that she adds to it and everything that's happened since is really incredible. So then what can people do to get involved?
People can get involved if they want to get involved in this event specifically. They can go to our Facebook page, Manitoba Animal Save Horse Slaughter Awareness Campaign. The event is running. We can send people the link to the posters to print themselves, or we also have posters we can drop off to them. And then beyond that, because the issue extends far beyond that, we're asking people to write their politicians. So reach out to your local MP, right to the Prime Minister, the Minister of Agriculture, ask to meet with your local member of Parliament if you can. Just keep on them, because they really listen to, if they see that this is a big concern to their people in the community, they will act on it. But they need a lot of people to reach out to them to move on it. Also follow the Horse Shit campaign of Jan Arden and the CHDC. They've done so much to highlight this issue and bring it to public attention. And things are really starting to get out there now because of them. So these are all ways that we can kind of keep momentum and focus on this issue. Just I'd really encourage people to really reach out to your MPs, to your politicians, Prime Minister, Minister of Agriculture. Yeah, keep on them.
You're right, though. It's amazing that so few people actually know about this industry. Like, it's been very well hidden from the public, and it seems I mean, that alone, what you're doing is really great, and I appreciate all the work that you're doing. So then what do you hope to accomplish with your event?
We really hope to bring awareness to it and getting people involved to end it. I feel like there's a lot of momentum right now in Calgary and Edmonton, but in Winnipeg, people still kind of don't know. This happens, it's a really secretive industry, as Brittany was saying. Like, they bring these horses in late at night, they crate them at midnight, they fly them out super early in the morning. Like, no one's around when this is happening. Most people don't see it, and they don't want to believe that this is happening. Horses are companion animals. They're like dogs and cats to us. They don't want to think of people eating them. So we really need to get the images out and getting people aware of what's going on, and then people will be moved to act on it. And just like political lobbying for sure.
So
In terms of, I was just going to add to that. In terms of the two industries, like the horse slaughter industry and the horse exportation industry are obviously two very different industries. But the biggest thing for the horse exportation industry is putting that public pressure, as Dana mentioned, putting that public pressure on the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of International Trade Diversification, because that is how I think that we're really going to make segue in changing or make changes for the legislation for the horse exportation industry. But in terms of the horse slaughter industry, I think we really have to put public pressure on reducing the amount of unwanted horses that exist throughout Canada, and providing subsidized veterinary care for horses that are geriatric or compromised, because right now people have more of an incentive to take their horses at auction and gain some money rather than putting money into these horses for humane euthanasia or for veterinary care if they require veterinary care. So there has to be an incentive for people to hold on to their horses and not take them to auction, where a large portion of them just end up for meat. So there has to be some sort of shift in our mentality as a nation on how we deal with these unwanted horses, and how we can encourage people to keep their horses until it's the end of their lives and then provide a humane death for them.
Yeah. It's difficult to watch as well, like the actual breeding right now that's happening for this live export industry. Like some people have actually
Absolutely.
switched over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there has to be some sort of federal regulation to legislation to regulate the breeding of horses within Canada, and I don't exactly know what that looks like just yet, but there has to be something.
So who are you targeting through your events?
Right now we're targeting Winnipeggers. A lot of people don't know this is going on, so we're really focusing on people who are here, people in Manitoba, but also globally. We ship horse meat all over. We ship horse meat to Japan, but also Germany, also France,
Switzerland,
US, Switzerland, yeah, exactly. Belgium, Albania, New Zealand, Italy, Vietnam. So it's a global issue. So it starts in Winnipeg and Manitoba because this is where our airport is, but it extends, and really everyone can help us on this issue. We need everyone involved. So
yeah, that's
the more people who kind of join us, the better and the more successful it will be.
And why do you think it's so important for Canadians to get involved in this issue?
I mean, for me personally, in regards to horse slaughter, it's the only food industry within Canada that is slaughtering ex-companions. It's no different than the dog meat trade in Asia that everybody looks down upon and frowns upon. How is this any different? It's people's old 4-H horses or their old companion riding horses that are ending up being killed, and we're exporting their meat overseas. These horses are not being raised for slaughter. But even in terms of the horses being exported, some people say, okay, well, at least those horses are being raised to be exported, but they're constantly violating, all of the regulations in the Health of Animals Act, the Federal Health of Animals Act, and watchdog groups like the Canadian Horse Defense Coalition have documented these violations, and they've taken them to court in 2019. So it's not even that these are horses and therefore we should care about them more than the pigs. Obviously, we care about all animals, and I'm against, the slaughter of any animal for meat. But these horses are suffering when they're being transported. There's documentation of horses being killed as they're flying overseas or arriving to, their place of destination severely compromised or severely injured. So it's a huge welfare issue.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And why do you think that horse slaughter has remained such a huge issue in Canada while so many Canadians are against it?
I think because it's largely gone unnoticed. People don't even know that we have a horse slaughter industry within Canada. Yeah. People, from my experience, people genuinely care and they want to stop this industry, but they don't even know that it's going on. For the longest time, people didn't know that we had horse auctions right here in Manitoba happening. They didn't know that we're exporting horses right out of the Winnipeg airport. Yeah. They also they just don't really know that this industry is happening, and that's where we're finally seeing more and more people pushing back and saying that they don't agree with this because they're finally just realizing that it's occurring.
Yeah. And since the U.S. shut down their slaughterhouses in 2007, Canada's just become a funnel for them to dispose of their unwanted horses. Yeah. Our airports still ship, and we still have 4 slaughterhouses in Canada, so they ship a lot of their horses to us or to Mexico. And in 2019, I guess according to the latest stats, their horse meat exports have actually increased by 4.6% from Canada. So
that's awful.
It's risen a little bit, yeah.
It's really
also
yeah. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna add. It's also a human health risk because horse meat is coming from all of these ex-companion horses who, at some point in their lives, have likely taken phenylbutazone, which is the horse equivalent of a Tylenol, basically. Pretty much every horse gets phenylbutazone, and it is a drug that is completely prohibited from being in carcass meat. But through documentation obtained by the Canadian Horse Defense Coalition, I think the CFIA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, really only tests less than 1% of all of the horse meat. So from a human health perspective, it's not even safe to be eating this horse meat because a lot of these horses, you simply don't know where they're coming from. Their equine identification documents, I mean, it's so easy to omit that fact that they've had phenylbutazone. It's so easy to lie on these documents, so it's really not a safe system for people to be eating this horse meat.
No, it's very backwards, really. And I mean, it's amazing that it's still been possible to keep this sort of that way, that even that horses are considered livestock under the classification for tax purposes and things like that, and yet when people have to buy their horse food, it's considered pet food. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
they play it whichever way is going to be more beneficial to them. And it's really difficult. And I mean, there's so many things we can say about horses, how horses have helped people throughout history and time, and how they pulled our wagons, and how they plow our fields, and they pull our artillery, and they do so much. And nowadays, horses have been used for mental health. Like, people around horses have known that horses are huge mental health benefit. You know, it's a benefit of adding horses to your life, and yet we have this gruesome industry where we do this. It's horrific. So then, where can people, like, how can we find you guys online? You mentioned different organizations you're involved with. Where can people find more information online on this topic?
I would say the Canadian Horse Defense Coalition. They do fantastic work. Their website is CanadianHorseDefenseCoalition.org. Follow Jan Arden's website, her campaign at horseshit.ca. They both have a lot of resources and ways to get involved. Manitoba Animal Save, you follow us. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, all of those. Brittany, do you?
I would also add the Winnipeg Humane Society, winnipeghumanesociety.ca. This is an issue that we have kind of taken on in the last year or so. So we do a lot of public awareness on our social media page. If you follow the Winnipeg Humane Society social media page, we also do blog posts about the issue, you know, asking followers to write to the Minister of Agriculture and things like that. So that, as well as all of the resources that Dana just gave, I think are great ones to have.
Thank you. Yeah, Horse Defense Coalition is an organization that I've spoke with. Actually, I think they were one of my first interviews in 2015 when I started this radio awareness program. And of course, Catherine Betts with Canadian Wild Horses. She's I've been with her also since the very beginning. She's always helped out and been, you know, a solid shoulder there. Wow, I really appreciate everything you're doing. It's really amazing. It's so heartwarming to hear what you're doing. And I think, you know, we live in times right now where people need this heartwarming kind of stuff. Like, we live in times where we don't really know what's going to happen. And a lot of people are spending time at home. So I guess in a way, it's great to reach them right where they're at their computer or their cell phone with this online postering event.
Yeah, and I will add to that, on the flip side of that is Manitoba, especially, like Dana mentioned, is in the middle of a code red lockdown, yet we're still exporting horses out of the Winnipeg airport. So everyone in Manitoba, there's so many things that we're restricted and unable to do, yet somehow it's deemed a priority that all of these horses still get shipped out of our airport. So it's still happening. It happened only a few weeks ago, I believe, that we exported some horses. So just even knowing that during a global pandemic, we still have to ship horses out of our airport for some reason.
Right. No, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Wow, well, it's been really great. It was very quick and informative. It's about 20 minutes into this conversation. Anything else that you guys want to share before we say goodbye?
I'd just like to thank everyone for listening and being curious about how to help out and get involved. And yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you and to talk to more people. And thank you, Brittany.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us on. And if anyone listening is interested, definitely check out the Manitoba Animal Safe page because of the amazing work they do on so many different causes, not just horse exportation. But this is an issue that obviously we're both very passionate about, and the more people that can get on board and help us, the sooner we can have this industry end. So yeah, thank you for just giving us this platform. Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much for your time. And like I mentioned, I will make a video and put it on the YouTube channel for Blue Sky Horse Radio, and I will add that as well to the Facebook page. And then I'll share some audio with you guys as well, and video, and then you can upload it to wherever you want as well.
That sounds great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and all the strength and blessings in what the work you do. I know it's not easy. I have a hard time even looking at the photos and knowing these horses go through the most horrendous journey. We have to be able to do better than that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you, Brittany and Dana, and we'll speak with you guys again.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.